Welcome to Mystic Moons. The gravity of the world situation makes one really question about, gee, all these circumstances, what's happening, war talk, discord, chaos, it's all out of my hands. And you wonder, like, what is going to happen to me and you and the people we know in our lifestyle? Well, one thing for sure is change is happening. Change. So with change, we have to see that certain things are no longer going to remain the same. In times like this, we have to ask the spirits. We have to ask, how will things change? Will our leaders change? Today, we're going to take a psychic, political tarot reading, tarot journey, to find out about NATO. There's a lot of talk about cooperation, friends, past friends, even us. We have friends that we no longer speak to. We have friends that are fair weather friends. We have friends that are sometimes our friends. We have friends that are not really our friends. Now, it's the same thing with countries, groups of people with the same mindset. And we have an organization, NATO. NATO has been around for quite a while, but is it the end time for NATO? Has NATO run its course? We have heard that the United States President Trump, Donald J. Trump, has expressed desire to get the United States, all its states, the United States, out of NATO. Now, Europe is Europe, the Americas, America is America. North, South, North America, Canada, Central America, Mexico, South America. The Americas are the Americas and Europe is Europe. What goes on in one place is the business of the other. These are all the questions that's going on. So all these questions are not exactly helping the alliance, the NATO alliance. So let's ask the spirits. Is NATO reaching its end days, end times? End times, we've heard a lot about end times, but is it really end times for NATO? This card is still speaking to me. Now, let's ask the spirits, is NATO the end? Is it the end of NATO? Is it the end of cooperation between Germany, England, France, etc., and the United States? Is NATO biting off more than it has? There's a power struggle going on. Of course, there's been a power struggle for years. There's always a power struggle. People who can, in their hearts, yearn for more and more and more. And is that what our public relations, our country relationships are just being reduced to? Greed, yearning, wanting more, wanting things that you have, that others have, that's not theirs. Is this NATO? Let's see. NATO. We have the 10 of Swords. Oh, the 10 of Swords. Now already there's a burden, even keeping the charade, however you wish to pronounce that word, the masquerading of unity. This is the unity, the state of NATO, the 10 of Swords. Not very promising. Not a beacon of peace, not a beacon of cooperation, more like a club. And one American comedian said a few decades ago, it's a big club and you ain't in it. Is this NATO? NATO. North Atlantic. What? The next card we have is the Page of Swords. Now, even this Page of Swords is a meow of a screaming, a crowing, a screeching. What? Of this? The 10 of Swords. It ain't working. It isn't working. However you wish to. Is it workable? Is it salvageable? Is it what? Is it a few country states yearning for Russia war with Russia. Who wants that? I don't. You don't. Now I have the Eight of Swords. Precarious. Precarious. It's not like the Eight of Wands, energy, feisty. This is like carefully treading, because each way they, with all their talk, their bucolic messages of vengeance, of blood. Didn't we have enough of that 75 years ago with the wars, World War I and II, 75 plus years ago? Squabbles. Maybe because everybody's bankrupt. And they're spending and can't stop the gravy train to certain places. So, and maybe the gravy train is becoming, it's just liquid that's going down the drain. Is that the direction? Hi everyone. Now we have the Three of Wands. It's almost as though any day now they're going to say NATO is over. Is it going to take Russia to bring the demise of NATO? War talking, war pounding, war drums. They are beating war drums, and I know Europeans are not in the mood for another bloody, savage, murderous war, of which people will be dead. People are murdered and their body parts will be used, or organ delivery. I mean, yes, skin donations. I mean, you have to be, it's macabre to think that way, but is it not? That's what it is. War. NATO doesn't have any common sense. Is it just depleting its people? And then we have the moon. Uncertainty and reflecting the wishes of what? Of whom? Uncertainty. It's a very, very shaky future of NATO. Cooperation is in the crapper. Cooperation is in the crapper. There is no cooperation. The Page of Swords, the Ten of Swords. This is the kind of cooperation. Do we all? I mean, hell is a big place. You've heard that phrase. Hell is a big place. There's plenty of room for everyone. Are they trying to bring a hell on earth again? As if we don't have enough? Something sinister is brewing among certain crevices, certain corners, certain deities. I'll put it that way. Certain deities. Is NATO nothing more than a conglomerate of deities? Deities for hell and destruction. And of course, national interest. What is the national interest but life, liberty? What is NATO today? But more of small countries clamoring to try to keep its population and their pocket fed somewhat. But their pockets, or even the participants, the leaders, are they acting in great sympathy, tempo with their constituents, with their populations? Or are they acting out of their own greed of a few chosen people? Chosen people. I'll put it that way. So we're going to have an announcement soon, because NATO can't continue without something, without integrity. And right now, their integrity is the Ten of Swords. So I will leave this. It seems as though the future is very uncertain for NATO. And right now, they don't have a very healthy message. We have the 10 and the 8 of Swords. Precarious future awaits anyone who's following NATO's dictates. The Page of Swords, the call has been put out there, either to end this or to start this. More or less, the message that NATO is sensing, giving, is a very insecure, and unreliable future, if there is a future. And they are intending upon issuing some sort of comment, some sort of proclamation soon, as they beat their war drums, as they beat themselves in fanatic dystopic carnage. Now the question is, will the people of Europe listen to NATO? Will they listen to their leaders? And why should they? If it's going to be their end. All right, I think that we have said that something that NATO will be issuing some sort of proclamation soon, and it is not going to be very healthy. Again, NATO isn't doing well. And when you have a sickness, well, you get a whole other response. And this is what is going to the unsteady moon aspect of this reading. What sort of response will they get with their proclamation as they glue themselves to one another, as they shake and quiver in their safe spots? We'll be listening, we'll be waiting. NATO doesn't have a very steady future, according to the spirits. Again, thank you for listening. I'm going to keep this brief because this is ongoing and it's changing, but not in a healthy manner. Right now, we know that the entire Europe has been given pamphlets about what to do with a global, not global yet, with Europe at war with Russia. The message is being put out there. We take heed to listen. Let's just cleanse this cleansing call for level-headed spirits to reach the hearts of this small band of people that are clamoring for destruction. Let us hope that we can get some common sense soon. And maybe we can very well see that this is the best that NATO can offer. NATO is indeed reached its mark, its end days. Its end days. This is not the era of the Crusades. This is the era of the extermination. I like European people. I like Europe as it intact, without these scars of war, without the smoke of fire and destruction. Others do too. We all do. Again, NATO has a very unshaky future. And it can't survive as it is right now. Desperate men do desperate things. Desperate women do too. Let's try and hope for the best, even though the outlook is gloomy. Or maybe it's dissolution, it's ending, NATO being ended, will be the mark of change that we need to go in, the change that is healthy. We shall soon see. Until the next time, Mystic Moons is going to leave you with his speculative thinking. Will NATO end soon?